What's up, YouTube? It's Australia Duel Masters here, and today we have an incredibly special podcast to share with you all. It's no secret that I'm incredibly hyped for this episode. Now, this isn't our conventional style of podcast, but it will be one of our best yet. I can assure you of that. We have the privilege of spending some time today with JJ Rockets, or alternatively known as Garabon, on YouTube. Some of you will know him from his Duel Masters Progression series that he is currently doing. We're going to delve into a special time of Duel Masters history with JJ Rockets, who is active in the Duel Masters scene since the beginning of the game's existence. JJ Rockets was also prevalent in the Pojo forum as well at the time. He also competed in numerous tournaments during Duel Masters' existence, and this is where our podcast kicks off. Welcome, JJ Rockets. It's a pleasure to have you on the podcast today. If you'd like to introduce yourself for everyone who doesn't know you, that would be great, man.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm JJ Rockets, as a lot of people know me, or in the Duel Master scene, a lot of people will know me as Garabon from my new YouTube channel, Garabon. I'm posting a lot of videos about just like building decks given weird restrictions. So right now I have my progression series going on where every week we open up 24 packs of a Duel Master set, and we have to work with the cards that we get to build a deck and play it. Other people might know me from the Super Smash Brothers community, where I was a competitive member for a long time there. And yeah, I'm really excited to be here and just to share some exciting Duel Master stories and things that I experienced playing this game.
Yeah, amazing, man. And I'm really, really excited to jump into it, man, because I know you've prepared an incredible slide deck to share with us today as well. So I'll enable the share screen so you can share it with us and the viewers, and we'll talk about each picture slide by slide. And yeah, like you said, I'm positive that you've got plenty of incredible memories to share with us all as well.
All right, let's get it started.
Nice.
There we go. Okay, can you see the screen?
Yep, I can see the screen. That is perfect. So,
Right,
yeah, I'll let you
sorry.
talk about each picture, man, and tell us about what's going on.
Yeah, so this is the picture of like my entire collection of just various assorted goods that I've won from tournaments or were given out as freebies. So a lot of this stuff holds like a really big sentimental value to me, and I have really just fond memories from all these tournaments and everything that I did to obtain all these things.
Yeah,
I've got
absolutely.
everything here from like bags, shirts, deck boxes, plaques, pins. And of course, my favorite item is in the back. We're going to talk about that later. That's the deck that I played at the 2005 Continental Championships.
Amazing, man. Amazing. And I guess, yeah, we'll talk a little bit later about your championship parks and, what you remember from those two, who you played, what deck you used, and, anything that you can remember from that would be really cool as well. So that twin cannon shirt, did every
Yeah.
competitor get that at the Intercontinental Championships?
Yeah. So at the Continental Championships, it started on a Saturday, but there was a check-in on Friday night. And so everyone that checked in was given the t-shirt and the badge that you see in the background that's hanging on my deck display.
Yeah,
So
wow.
everyone got one of those, and I believe everyone got one of the wristbands as well.
Perfect, man. That looks, yeah, incredible. You can jump to the next slide if you want as well.
Okay. So I have my pictures here are mostly just like in chronological order, starting with the oldest and then getting progressively more recent. So
Yeah.
these two pictures are the two things that I took home from the 2004 mall tour. This was like an event that they had like to promote the game when it was brand new. So I think it was just only the base set was the only set that was out at the time. So this had to be like March 2004, if I had to guess. I don't remember the exact dates, but it
Yeah.
was at just a bunch of malls all over the US. And I think maybe some in Canada too. I can't remember. But
Yeah.
it wasn't exactly like a tournament, but more just like an event where you could learn to play the game. They had artists there signing cards and posters, and they had small little tournaments that you could play in along the way. So the two things that I treasure the most from this tournament, or not tournament, from this event, is I got this on the left, you can see a comic book that is signed by the artist, which is really awesome. So like the artist was just there signing everything. And so I also got him to sign the Firesweeper Burning Hellion promo, which was given away to everyone who attended as well.
Yeah, that's incredible, man. Really, really, really cool. I'm just taking a minute to just take that in. That's incredible. And Garabon is on the comic too.
It is, which is actually
That's
incredible because at the time that was given to me, I had no idea what that was because, like I said, the base set was the only thing released in English.
Yeah, so that's a bit of foreshadowing there. And I think as well, Pyrofighter Magnus is below, which was from DM06. So yeah, it's interesting. They were kind of foreshadowing those. Amazing. All right, man. You can go to the next slide.
So next, after the mall tour, the next tournaments that I went to was the Tournament of the Five Civilizations. So in the Duel Masters early days, there was kind of like two main kinds of tournaments. There was the JDC tournaments, which were kind of like a smaller local that usually happened like once a week or every 2 weeks, depending on the location. And there usually wasn't as many players there. Then there was the big regional tournaments, which happened once per set that was released. So
nice.
The region that I lived in, I was in Chicago, and Chicago is like a really big city, right?
The Windy City.
Yeah. But for some reason, the scene wasn't really that big in Chicago. So we were kind of unfortunate that we didn't have like the local tournaments. All we had was the big Five Civilization tournaments that came around once every couple months when the new sets came out. So for me in the early days, you could see I was pretty young at the time. This would have been 2005, February. So I would have been in 6th grade.
Yeah, wow. That's incredible, man, that you managed to win that tournament too. And, that booster box is pretty nice too. Is it still sealed to this day?
No, I opened that booster box shortly after the picture was taken.
Don't blame me, man.
That'd be so nice if I still had a sealed one though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually kind of got started in competitive gaming playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Probably when I was in 5th grade is around when I started that, maybe even earlier. But I was always really bad because when I started, the game had already been out for a while. So I showed up to my first tournament and my decks was horrible. And there was these people that had been playing for a couple of years that had like all the expensive decks. And so I got blown out of the water. So when I found out that the game Duel Masters was coming out, I was like, all right, well, I have like a even playing ground with everyone else. So I'm going to try really hard from day one to be good at this game.
And you succeeded, man. Like, that's an incredible achievement to win 2 plaques. Can you remember what deck you used for the Survivors of the Mega Apocalypse Championship?
Yeah, I believe the deck that I was playing for that was like a mono water Evo deck with like Crystal Lancers and Crystal Paladins.
Ooh, nice. That will be music to Michael's ears. He's part of our channel and he loves mono water decks. So that's amazing. I think one of his favorite cards is Paladin too. So yeah,
it was really good at the time.
It was,
I specifically remember, so the first tournament of Five Civilizations I went to it would have been for Shadow Clash. And my best friend, Michael, who was like, we kind of got into the game together. He's the other one that I'm playing in the Progression series, actually. He ended up getting 2nd place at that one, and I missed out on the top 8. And so after that day, I was like, I'm going to practice this game so hard because I want to win it next time. I have to win before he wins.
Yeah, dude, that's incredible motivation. And you did it. You're a mini
having like a rival was what really pushed me to do pretty well in the events.
Yeah, nice, man. And what about the Thunder Charge of Ultra Destruction? Can you remember the deck you used for that?
Yeah, so shortly after the Survivors, I want to say I was playing like a blue-green Evo deck. But then after like one tournament, I dropped the blue-green Evo because I started playing Dark Water Fire Control. And then that
Nice.
became like my staple for pretty much the entire rest of the rest of the Duel Masters tournament history for me.
Nice, man. I mean, back then, especially, that would have been incredibly hard to beat.
Yeah,
Um,
oh for sure. And
what would
that you have
you?
to keep in mind also that back then, like it was a lot harder to find like winning deck lists. So
Yes, yeah,
you didn't have as much of a idea of what everyone else is going to be playing, because if it's not like today where if you have like a popular card game, every tournament ever, like all the top 8 deck lists are just posted online. The only deck
yep,
lists that get posted are people that wanted to share it. So
yeah,
if you had a
yeah,
deck that was hard to beat, people didn't really know what to do next.
yeah. That's incredible. I didn't realize that. Obviously, Pojo would have like tournament reports and stuff like that, but I think you're right. There wasn't really many deck lists posted on there, and that was kind of the central point that players could go to for Duel Masters online. Is that correct? Or
Yeah. So that's true. There was a pretty active community in the Duel Master section. And so there was like a good amount of decks that were posted, but the overwhelming majority of them was just like people posting a new deck that they were trying, and not necessarily, oh, here's my deck that I won a tournament with, for example.
yep,
So I remember, I think somebody ended up posting the winning deck list from the German national championships, and that was a Dark Water Fire control deck, and that's what got me started on it, because I found that and I started testing it, and it was just way better than all the Evo decks that I had built at the time.
yeah, nice. And what would you say the meta was like at this time? Like, what were most people playing and successful with?
I would say like up through Survivors or so, it was a lot of people playing like Beast Folk, Liquid People, Evolution decks with like
Okay.
Crystal Lancers, Fighter Dual Fangs. That was the kind of deck that was consistently winning a lot. And
Yep.
then as we got towards like Thunder Charge, I feel like the meta started shifting a lot more towards like bigger control decks. But at the same time,
Mm,
there was always like at every tournament you went to, there was always somebody that was just playing some variation of Rush, like mono red Rush, or just something that goes in early with
yeah.
like nature cards too.
Yep. Yep.
Um, it was also kind of like just the fact that the winning deck lists weren't so accessible made it that there was just like you wouldn't know exactly what you were going to go up against. There was so much variety that I would say control decks were the most popular, but there was just so many variations. You had the Dark Water Fire, you had a lot of variations with light, and even like Diamond Cutter decks were there. You had like control decks that had nature to ramp up to big stuff faster. It was
Yeah.
pretty
Nice.
diverse.
So there was a good element of surprise, and what you're essentially saying is you couldn't really prepare or plan a deck that was gonna, you just didn't know what you were gonna come up against. It's
Yeah, at
pretty
least
cool, though.
not at this time in like 2005 in the early days. By the time the second continental championships came around, I think there was a little bit more deck lists, and it did become like the meta started evolving into something a little more solidified. But at this point, it was kind of all up in the air, and anything was possible.
Yeah. So, what would you say your toughest matchup was in both of these championships? Like, would you say it was the person you played to win the plaques, or was it in the lead up to that? Or
I remember it's hard to remember anything too specific because I mean this was 2005. We're almost 20 years ago now. Wow,
yeah,
that's crazy. That was actually 18 years ago.
that's
Uh,
insane.
or not 18 years ago. It's 17 years ago. Anyways, I do remember one specific match at the Survivors Five Civilizations tournament. I want to say it was my first round of top 8, and it was actually a mono water mirror match, and it came
Ooh,
down to the third game, and he had like lethal on board, but I had like I had 2 shields or something like that, and I needed a good shield trigger to win, and I ended up getting like the last Aqua Surfer, and that saved me. Got rid of one of his
nice,
attackers and was just enough to swing for game. So I
nice,
like
man.
barely scraped out that match, and then after that I can't remember exactly what happened, but
That's all
the
right,
fact that
man.
I don't remember it makes me feel like it wasn't as intense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's an incredible achievement, man, and something that you can hold on to for the rest of your life and,
Oh yeah,
share
for
with your
sure.
kids one day. And it's pretty cool. So, yeah, you can go to the next
Yeah,
slide, man.
let's continue. This was
Oh,
also from the Five Civilizations tournaments, was this deck box that
yeah.
I think
It's,
everybody that attended actually got one of these for free with their entry.
okay. That was one of my questions, man, because when I was looking at the deck before our podcast today, I did notice that deck box and thought, damn, that's pretty cool. I wonder how you guys got that. Did you have to win or so everyone
Yeah,
got one entry?
yep, it was just like a giveaway, which was super nice.
Wow.
So most of the tournaments that you went to, I would say the majority of players were using this as their deck box just because it was so
Yes.
cool.
Yep. It is cool.
It was definitely the deck box I used throughout the entire time I played Duel Masters, and then also Yu-Gi-Oh! 2 and Kaijudo.
Yeah,
Kept using
wow.
this same deck box.
So it carried on.
Yeah.
We will touch on Kaijudo towards the end of the slide, man, because I did notice you had some cool stuff there that we can talk about. So I'm looking
Yep.
forward to that. Yeah, do you want to go to the next slide as well?
Yeah. Let's continue.
Oh,
So the five civilization tournaments were going on, and towards like I want to say it was the summer of 2005, they announced the invitation circuit. And the idea was it was like another big regional size tournament where the top, how many people got invited? I want to say it was just the top two players, maybe. Like it wasn't that many from each tournament. Just the top two would get invited to the Continental Championship that was held in Los Angeles in October. So in my region, we had two different tournaments for the invitation circuit, which was kind of nice because I know a lot of regions only had one. So luckily we had two chances to try to get our invites.
yeah,
If you
wow.
won the tournament, you got free airfare and a free hotel to go to Los Angeles. And if you got second place, you just got the invite, which gave you like the honors of playing, but you didn't get the hotel and the airfare. You had to pay for that yourself.
Yeah, okay.
So before, like I mentioned, I played Yu-Gi-Oh before Duel Masters. And when I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh, I went to some of the regional tournaments, and it kind of had the same idea where like the top 8 people would get invited to the national championships. And I always thought that was so cool. I was like, I want to win, but I was just not good enough at Yu-Gi-Oh. So when I was going like all in on trying to be good at Duel Masters, as soon as they announced the invitation circuit, the amount of time I spent playing this game probably went up like tenfold.
Nice. So that was one of my questions, man, because I had heard from a few people that if you like won an invitation that, yeah, was it Wizards of the Coast or Duel Masters or someone
Yeah,
would
Wizards of the
pay
Coast was like the parent company that put it on, I think.
and they would pay for your airfares and hotel, which to me is just like, wow, that's
Yeah. And
incredible.
actually, so it was split into two age divisions. You had 14 and under and 15 and up. And so I was just in seventh grade at the time. So I was in the 14 and under division. So the winner of that tournament, not only did you get free flight and hotel, but the flight, they also paid for the flight for a parent or guardian to go with you.
Oh, that's amazing. That's really
So
cool.
yeah, so for me in seventh grade, I ended up winning that tournament. And so I got free flight for me and my mom to go to Los
Oh,
Angeles
wow.
in a hotel. So that
That
was
is so
really
cool,
awesome.
man. I'm sure that's memories that have, lasted you guys a lifetime. And it's almost a money can't buy experience. Like, just,
Oh, for sure.
yeah, I'm sure your mum enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, yeah. We both have fond memories. My mom, shout outs to her. She was the one that like drove me to all these tournaments when I was a kid. Without her, none of it would have been possible.
Oh, that's nice, man, that she, supported your dreams. It's incredible.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of people that their parents wouldn't drive them to the tournaments, and so they never got to experience this. So I'm really grateful that I had that opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. And, because it means so much to you, it's a part of who you are, I suppose. Duel
Yeah, I would
Masters.
definitely say so.
Now, I think we can go to the next slide.
Oh, yeah, here,
Awesome.
these. Uh, So this was also for the winners of the invitation circuit, like qualifying tournaments. You would get this wristband that says Kaijudo Master and the invitation circuit logo on it. And so
Wow.
the way the tournaments worked, I forgot to mention this, is that if you won, you weren't allowed to enter another tournament because they didn't want you to like take away the free flights and stuff from someone else.
Oh,
But
okay.
uh it's actually funny because the first tournament that we went to, I don't remember exactly what happened, but the organizers of the tournament, like they messed something up or they didn't report something properly. And so like that one didn't count. And so I had to like I was calling Wizards of the Coast. I'm like, do I have my invite or not? Like I it was unclear because like they didn't report the tournament correctly or it never went into the database correctly. And so Wizards told me like, all right, well, you should just go and play in this second tournament and try to win that. And then if you win, then it doesn't matter. But if you don't, then you'd have to like file a dispute or something. So I actually ended up being the only person that won two of the tournaments
Oh,
because I
wow.
had the one that just like was messed up for some reason that I don't remember exactly why.
Wow. That's incredible, man. Would have been nerve-wracking for you though. Like
Oh, for sure.
knowing that, yeah, if you don't win, you're not in, even though you won the first time.
Yeah, so there was a lot of pressure on me. So I definitely put a lot of time into preparing for that tournament.
Yeah, gee. Well, yeah, luckily you managed to win twice, man. That's
Yeah.
incredible. Um, I,
And
yep.
yeah, I'll just gonna continue here because now we have the Continental Championships itself. And yeah, here's the Twin Cannon Sky Terror t-shirt that we were talking about. So all the people that were entered in the tournament got one for free. I was this tiny little kid at the time, and so this shirt was like way too big for me. So I actually never really wore it very much. And so it's actually like in pretty good condition still, which is pretty nice. I pretty much just hung it up in my closet and it's been there ever since.
Nice, but maybe consider framing it, man, because it's quite an incredible shirt.
Yeah, that is not a bad idea. I don't really have that much space on my walls right now, but I definitely could move some things around. That's a pretty good idea. I actually never thought of doing that. I probably
Yeah,
should do that.
yeah, because I mean, I've never seen one come up for sale on the market, so I'd assume that they're pretty few and far between, man.
Oh
So
yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
look after it.
you see, I'll just go to the next couple of slides. I'll come back to this. I just wanted to
Yeah,
go to a
yeah,
picture of the tournament itself here. You can
yeah,
see like a lot of red t-shirts,
yeah, yeah,
and those are all like the Twin Cannon shirts. So like the majority of people were probably wearing them and wearing them frequently. And then
yeah.
like a lot of people don't really keep t-shirts for very long, right? Like they wear out,
Correct.
then you probably just throw it out. So
Yep.
I'm guessing like a lot of people didn't like me, where I just never really wore it because it didn't fit. So I just left it in my closet and it stayed there for a while. But I'm sure like a lot of these are in some landfill somewhere.
Yeah, yeah, I would say so, man. They most of them probably would have grown out of it and yeah, done what you just described, landfill.
Yeah.
Um, so that's the name tag and lanyard that you got.
Yep. So that was like when you go into the venue and they check to see if you like were signed up for the tournament or whatever. Uh you had that. I think the 15 and older age division, it might have been like a little bit different colors. They could easily see which side of the venue to be at.
Yep.
But anytime I go to like any kind of event where you get a lanyard, I save all of them. And so in my room, I have just like a big display of all my lanyards. And this one was the first one that I ever had. And
That's
so that
so
was kind of
cool,
the
man.
start of all of it.
That's amazing. And so you flew from Chicago to Los Angeles?
Yep. Yeah. It's about a 4-hour flight.
4 hour
And I
flight.
got to miss a day of school, which was pretty awesome when you're in seventh grade.
Yeah. Any time off school is a good time.
Yep.
All right, man. You can go to the next slide.
So here is the two continental championships. What do you call it? Just like a
A
card
deck
holder,
bag
card
or
bag. Yeah.
yep.
So these were given to all the attendants that went with your t-shirt and your badge. And I want to say they had like a few other things in there. Like we got for some reason they gave us a pack of Spanish Evo Crushionators of Doom. I'm not sure why, but we got that. And there's probably like some other packs or things like that. I just very specifically remember the Spanish pack because I pulled a Spanish Core Isle.
Yeah,
I put it in my deck.
that's really strange that they did that. I don't know. Maybe they assumed that some of the participants might be Spanish. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah. Or maybe
That's
they just had
interesting.
some extras in the warehouse and they wanted to give something away that was
Yeah,
interesting.
quite
But yeah,
possibly.
these bags were really nice. It's got like the styrofoam inside and the deck boxes all fit in perfectly.
Yeah, it
So
looks
you can fit a lot of
incredible.
cards in there.
It looks incredible. On your point, man, to the Wizards of the Coast warehouse, it's often, crossed my mind. I wonder if there's some vault out the back, right, where they've still got sealed Duel Masters product and it'll never be seen, but it's there. Like,
Yeah.
there would have to be something, right?
Right. Yeah, like somewhere it's got to exist. I mean, they like you still see people posting sealed boxes and stuff, and it just makes you really think how many are there and where are they?
Yeah. Well, I still think Wizards of the Coast definitely would have some somewhere. They'd have to.
Yeah.
All right, man. Yeah, so that's a good quality bag. Obviously, it's Ultra Pro as well. So, yeah,
Yeah, it's a
nice.
lasted me. I mean, they're still in good condition and I use them all the time.
Yeah, no, they're incredible. I think I've only seen maybe one of them come up for sale in my time looking around. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
because it's only pretty much the people that were playing in the tournaments that got them. So there's not
yeah.
that many in existence.
Now, can you talk to us about the shirt that you're wearing there?
Yeah, so me, my friend Michael, and my brother, we decided that we were gonna make like a team, and we call ourselves the Civilization Squad, but we spelled civilization with an S. And so we all made team T-shirts with our name on the front, or like our name on the back, and then the team name on the front, and then just our favorite card. And so my favorite card has always been Garabon the Glider, and so that was on my T-shirt. I think Michael had Corile on his shirt, and my
Yeah,
brother was a Rush player, so he had Pyrofighter Magnus on his.
nice. What's the reasoning for Garabon being your favorite card, man?
I just like the art on it. He's just like a big fat snowman that flies and holds a magic staff. What's not to
Yeah,
love about him?
true.
I don't know. I
True.
just like the art, and so I just decided I'm gonna see if I can like how many Garabons I can collect. So I always ask people if ever they open a Stompatrons pack. I was like, oh, give me your Garabon. Let me add it to the collection.
So you'd have quite a few Garabon then in your
Yeah,
collection.
I have quite a bit.
Nice. All right, man. We can go to the next slide.
Okay, yeah. So
All
here's
right.
pictures from the tournament itself. So you can see it
So
was like in a really big convention center. There was this tournament was going on, and the Magic the Gathering Pro Tour was going on the other side of the venue too.
yeah, right. So
So it was huge.
this
This is
is
kind of like the
yeah.
playing area. Yeah, you can see there's the banners here for 14 and under and 15 and up on the left picture. So
Yep.
the areas were kind of separated. And I want to say each event had about 80 players,
Yep.
which considering only 2 people were qualifying per tournament, I think that was a pretty good turnout.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's across the entire United States.
Yeah, across the entire United States, also Canada. And I want to
All right.
say there was also a couple of players from Puerto Rico.
Right. Okay.
And I think that was about it. I don't think they had any qualifying tournaments in Mexico.
Yeah, wow. Okay. So these are incredible photos, man, because so often people have actually wanted to see what it was like inside the championship like venue and what was going on and what it actually looked like. So it's incredible that you managed to take these photos, man.
Yeah, shout outs again to my mom for going to the tournaments and taking me there, and she was the one that took these pictures.
Yeah, they're awesome, man. Where's that banner is with Stratosphere Giant and Trixo. I can see there's a little clock underneath.
Yep. So
So
that's like the timer for the round. So each round would be 50 minutes.
yep.
And then if you go past the 50 minutes, then it comes down to like, I think you get to play like 5 more turns or something like that. And then after those 5 turns, whoever has the lead in the set just gets the win, or it goes to
Wow.
a draw if it's tied.
That is so interesting, man. And the people that are sitting at that table with their laptops, what was their role
Yeah,
in
so those
the?
were the judges.
Oh,
So if you
yep.
had any questions about like a ruling, or if you had any kind of dispute, you could call the judges over and they would help resolve any issues. And also, of course, like calling the rounds, telling you how much time was left, and pretty much any question about how the tournament was running. They were there for
Amazing.
that.
Amazing. And it's incredible. Like this venue looks just superb. The
Oh yeah,
amount of money they would have put into this is just unfathomable.
yeah, because I know to like rent a convention center is expensive, but to rent a convention center in Los Angeles, like
Yeah,
that's insane.
it is insane. Wow. Is there anything, yeah, you'd like to talk about that picture, or it's all good? We've covered it.
Yeah, I mean it's just the playing area. I've got a few other pictures I'll move on to
Yeah,
from the
cool.
other areas. I guess that
Alrighty.
while the playing area is here, I should mention like the tournament format. So
Yep.
it was a 2-day tournament. So it started on Saturday and you played 8 rounds.
Yep.
And then after those 8 rounds, the top 32 players, I think it was 32, would qualify for day 2, Sunday, where they would play 5 more rounds. And then after those 5 rounds, it would cut to the top 4 players that would go into a single elimination bracket for the championships.
Wow. Do you remember where you finished by any chance?
I do. So after day 1, I had 8, it was 8 rounds and I was 7-1. So I
Wow.
was ranked pretty high.
That's
And
incredible.
then the next day I didn't do as well. I think I went 2-3. So that would have put me at like 9 wins, 4 losses or something like that. Or maybe I was 10 wins, 3 losses. I can't remember exactly.
Yep.
But it put me right around 6th or 7th place. I can't remember exactly which one, but it was one of the two.
That's still an incredible achievement, man. Out of that many people to finish sixth or seventh is just wow. Well done,
Yeah.
man.
So here we have another side of the venue. This was like, there was every round, there was a featured match. And so the featured match would play at this table that was like on the opposite side. And as you could see, there was kind of like an area that you could walk up and like you could have a big crowd formed around watching this featured match.
Yep.
So yeah, you could see me standing up there on the right with the white t-shirt watching that match. And
Yeah, nice.
actually I did have the fortune of getting to play a featured match, which I believe was my second round.
Oh, nice. Nice. That's
So
quite a cool layout and table.
yeah, it was just really cool. And like the experience of playing there, like you have the high pressure that you're in the Continental Championships, and now you have the pressure of like the big crowd watching. It was
Yeah.
really fun. I really enjoyed that kind of experience.
Yeah, that's so cool, man.
And
All
then
right.
also there was the
Armored
Armored
Walker.
Walker Euherion, I think that's its name.
Yep. Eulerion or Euherion, I can't remember, but close
Yeah,
enough.
something like that. But yeah, they had just like a giant one, which was pretty awesome.
That is cool, man. Was it made out of plastic or metal?
I think it was like mostly metal actually, unless maybe
Damn,
it was like plastic and then like coated in like a sheet of metal. I'm not sure,
that's
but it
so cool,
definitely it
man.
looked metal.
That is so cool. I think the only thing that could top that is if they did that with Bolshak Dragon. That would have been epic.
Yeah, there's sounds like there's fireworks going on outside. I don't know what's going on. Okay, yeah, but if
Oh,
Wolfshock Dragon was there, that'd be so sick.
yeah. And that background too with all the flames is just so dope.
Yeah, yeah, I was really glad that I actually had a picture of this that I could share because it was just so cool that they actually built something like that.
Yeah. And again, man, this is stuff that probably no one's ever seen before. Like no one would have known that this was there unless they went to the tournament, man.
Yep, exactly.
So yeah, thanks for sharing. That's incredible.
Did I skip a picture? No, I didn't. Okay. Oh, that was the picture I skipped. I went back. Okay. And yeah, here I was. So this was day 2. And after I picked up my prize for getting 6th or 7th place, whatever it was, the prizes were gift cards to like an electronics store called Comp USA. And
Okay,
so I got $400 on a gift card,
nice.
which when you're in 7th grade, $400 on top of your free trip is like, that's pretty nice.
Winning. So is that like a video game store or
Yeah, it's kind
sorry?
of like, yeah, just like electronics, computer stuff, video games.
Yeah,
It
nice.
it doesn't exist anymore, but it was pretty big at the time. I ended up buying my first iPod with it.
Oh wow. That is cool, man. That is really cool. And you got Bliss Totem in the background as well.
Yep, yep.
And
And you can see, yeah, that was the featured match area behind it.
yeah, nice. Yeah, it looks like they honestly put so much into the setup. It looks like the place to be.
Yeah, it was really cool. I'm so glad that I had the opportunity to do all that.
Yeah, dude. These are incredible memories.
And besides even just the tournament itself, one of the things that was just so fun for me was the people that got the free hotel. We were all put up like in the same hotel.
Oh,
So
okay.
so in the lobby, like when we first were checking in on like the Friday night, we walked into the hotel and we just saw like a bunch of people that were just sitting around playing games. And so we checked into the hotel, checked into the tournament, and then we came back and just every night of the tournament, they're just like a group of people playing, and you just get to meet everybody that you had like talked to online on the Pojo forums. Then you actually get to meet them in person and play games, and
That's
it
so
was just so
cool, man.
cool.
So was this in the hotel lobby?
Yeah, this was the hotel lobby.
Okay. Okay. Do you remember what hotel it was?
I do not remember. It was something that was really close to the convention center, so you could just like walk from the hotel to the convention center.
Nice. That's cool. So all these guys got the free hotel and flights as well?
I'm guessing so. I mean, there probably was other people that maybe didn't get the free hotel that just ended up in the same one, but I know everyone that did get the free hotel they were all here. So there were a lot of people that would be down in the lobby playing every night.
Nice. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it was really fun. And oh, I have more pictures from the tournament. We can see the trophies on the right there, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
This was the best picture I had of them, so unfortunately, it's not that zoomed in. But
That's all
you can
good.
see, yeah, there was. It looks like 3 trophies on top. I want to say there was 4 for top 4, and then on the bottom there's some other plaques. I don't
Yeah.
remember. I'm guessing like 2 trophies for first and second in each age division, and then maybe third and fourth got the plaques.
Yeah, okay. Nice. Either way, they still look like incredible prizes.
Yeah, they were really nice trophies.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, I was close, but I didn't win one.
that's all right, man. You gave it your best shot.
Yeah.
And that banner was cool too, man.
Oh yeah, the one on the left. Yeah.
Yeah.
So after that tournament, there was kind of a drought in big tournaments for a little bit
Yep.
because everything kind of like led up to that, and then it was just back to the 5 civilization tournaments, and the next invitation circuit wasn't announced yet. And one thing that was like a little disappointing to me was that the tournament of 5 civilizations, they stopped doing the plaques, and instead of the plaques, we got these pins.
Ah, okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah, the Kaijudo Grandmaster pin. I have it in my collection with other pins, but if you see there, I had 2 of the Kaijudo Grandmaster pins. That was from the tournament of 5 civilizations, and the other
Yep.
pins were all from Kaijudo,
Okay.
but
So I
they ended
wonder,
up together.
do you think it was after Thunder Charge that they stopped doing the parks? Or was it Oh no, sorry. I think it was DM08 from what I've seen. The epic.
Yeah, that there might have been one more because the I wouldn't remember exactly. If there was another 5 civ that had a plaque, but I didn't get one, that would mean that I just didn't win that event. So somewhere between that and this is when they switched to the pins.
Yeah, cool, man. And
Yeah, I like the.
oh, sorry, you go.
Oh, I was gonna say I like the plaques a lot better, but it's still nice that I was able to win 2 of the pins.
Yeah, absolutely. I've never seen the pins before, so yeah, that's really interesting. And with the Kaijudo stuff, can you remember much about how you got those ones or?
Yeah, so the patches were all like every time you entered one of like the regional tournaments, you chose which civilization you wanted to play for. So like you could choose
Ah,
light, water, dark, fire, or nature. And then the top 3 or 5, I can't remember which. I think it was just 3. The top 3 placing people from each civilization got the pin and the patch. And then also like the top 1 got like a play mat and like a hat or something like that.
oh, nice.
So I was able to accumulate all of the patches, which was pretty awesome, and all of the pins.
Yeah,
Except,
cool.
wait, no, never mind. I never got a darkness pin. I have 2 fire pins and 2 nature pins.
That's all right, man. And I can see down the bottom those coins say top 8, I think.
Yeah, that was another pin that was just for getting top 8 at each of the tournaments. So
Yeah,
in
nice.
Kaijudo, I would say it was harder to place high in Kaijudo because that was at a time where all the top deck lists were going online. So the competition was like a lot more difficult in the sense that almost every player you win against was playing a pretty strong meta deck.
Yep, yep. That's fair. I
So
think,
I was
yeah,
able to pretty consistently reach top 8, but I was not able to consistently win like I did in Duel Masters when it was more of like the Wild West back then, in a sense.
yeah, that sums it up, I think.
Okay,
No,
so
that's,
I'll continue now to the 2006 Continental Championships.
yeah, right.
So this was also shortly after there was just like a couple of the Tournament of 5 civilizations. They brought they brought back the invitation circuit, but I want to say it was kind of like paired up with the 5 civilization tournaments. So instead of having both, it was the invitations went to the winners of the Tournament of 5 civilizations.
Okay.
And this was kind of like at this point where people started to realize that the Duel Masters in English was kind of winding down, because you can kind of see from the pictures that like there wasn't as much of like the big promotional stuff. So it seemed like the budget was a lot lower.
Yeah, that's literally what I was going to touch on, man, because you had 2005 in an LA convention center, and then
Right.
2006 here. You can see the difference in the money that's been put into it.
Yeah. So this was also in Charleston, which is like not a very big city. I mean, like it's a big city, but it's not LA. So I'm assuming it was way cheaper to rent out this venue than it was the Los Angeles Convention Center.
Yep.
And on top of that, you did not get free flights to play in this tournament. You just got the invitation that qualified you.
Right. Okay. So that could be why there's not as many people there as well. Maybe some people couldn't afford to fly there, or I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, especially because you consider that a lot of the people back then were a lot of young players.
Mm.
And so like the young players before, all their parents would take them because they want the free flights to go. And the parents got
Yeah.
the free flight too. But it would be harder for someone to convince their parents to fly out to Charleston when it's like, yeah,
Yeah,
you don't have the free flights.
it would be harder, man. And so with this one, was there still the 14 and under, or was it literally combined?
Yeah, this one they actually combined it. So it was all just one
Mm.
big tournament.
Okay. And that would explain why there's not as many 14 and under kids there from what I can see. It looks like a lot more
Yep.
teenage to middle-aged guys.
Yeah. And then you can see me, the tiniest one over on table 10.
Table 10, yep. Nice one, man. And they've got that armored walker in the far right-hand corner again, too.
Yep. I believe I have another picture of that coming up. Here's another angle
Oh,
where
yeah.
you can see I believe also they did combine this with the Magic the Gathering Pro Tour again, which it
Yep.
makes sense if you're Wizards of the Coast that if you have to
Yep.
rent a venue for that anyways, you may as well just get a bigger venue and put it all together.
Yep. Absolutely. And so this is the crew.
Yep. Yeah. This was just some people hanging out, probably in between rounds or something like that. I'm not sure why all the tables are empty and we're the only ones there.
Yeah. Maybe the
Maybe
end of
this
the
was like the
day.
after hours or something.
Yeah. Because the guy on the far right looks like he's been working up a sweat, man, like stressing over his duels.
Yeah, that's my friend Michael that he came. We kind of traveled together for this.
Yeah, nice. No, it would be a stressful event, man, but it would be so cool to participate in. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Nice.
there is another picture of a lot of us. I believe this was like shortly after the standings were posted, and then you could see who made top 8. I forget
Yeah.
how many rounds this one was. I probably forget because I didn't do as well, so I don't remember it as much.
Yeah. You've got Pincer Scarab on your shirt as well.
Thrash Crawler,
Oh,
actually.
is it Thrash Crawler?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's just in black and white because I was not that great at making t-shirts.
Oh, that's
So
all
it
right,
was easier
man.
to do it in black and white.
Nice. And what's the deck box the second guy at the back is holding? It looks like a water something.
I'm not really sure what that is. It's not any product that I recognize, so
That's
it
all
might
right,
have
man.
just been something else that he bought somewhere.
Yeah,
I'm
cool.
not too sure.
That looks good.
Here also kind of shows a little bit of the lower budget. This is the featured match table where instead of
wow.
playing like on a stage where people can watch you, you played next to the armored walker.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, the budget's definitely not there.
Yeah, it was definitely a little bit lower. And then shortly after this tournament is when they announced that would I think like so this tournament was the last set that was released, I want to say was Shockwaves.
Oh,
So
okay.
maybe there was like one more Five Civilizations tournament afterwards. And then the last set, when they announced that, it was kind of announcing there was no more tournaments.
It's a sad day for everyone, man.
Yeah. And just a couple pictures of other random little things that we were given.
Yeah.
This binder, I can't remember exactly where I got it from. Maybe actually this was given to us at the first Continentals, but it was just like a really cool binder. I've seen them on the market fairly frequently.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen them come up a few times as well. So I think, to my knowledge, it's the only Duel Masters binder that actually was released.
Yeah, like official wise, at least.
Yeah.
I think also, so like they gave this to us at the Continentals, but I think you also got it for being in like the JDC club, which was it was kind of like a subscription thing where you got like a bunch of random free stuff in the mail every like month or so.
That's pretty
So
cool.
you would get like promo cards, and I want to say there was like things where it was like a cardboard where you punch out the pieces and then you assembled it and it looked like one of the creatures or stuff like that.
Nice.
So I had a few of those, but unfortunately they didn't last till this day. They got thrown out at some point.
That's all good.
This is the inside.
Yeah, nice. So yeah, it looks like it's something between DM01 to DM02, I think.
Yeah, so it was pretty early on where these were made. I still use this binder to this day. I've got my Duel Masters cards in it.
Yeah, nice, man.
And I guess from there, we're kind of just getting towards Kaijudo now.
Yeah.
Because these civilization bags were from Kaijudo, which was, now that actually makes me remember what the winners. So I said you played for each civilization, and whoever placed the highest from their civilization got the bag. That's what that was from.
Nice.
So at my first tournament, I played for nature because I felt like less people would pick nature. And so that's how I got the nature one. And then the water one I got at just another tournament.
Yeah, nice, man.
These are really nice bags, and I still use them.
Yeah, they
And
look like they're good quality.
yeah. I mean, I guess it's not as impressive that they held up, considering I got them like what, maybe 8 years after the Duel Masters ones.
Yeah, true.
And then we also got t-shirts for the Kaijudo championships.
Yeah, nice. So how did they work? Did you have to get invited to those as well, or did you have to place in the top four?
Yeah, so the championships there was like 1, 2, 3, 4 championships, I think. I was fortunate enough to go to 3 of them.
Nice.
And one of them that I went to, I didn't actually qualify, but I went to it anyways just for the experience.
Yeah, nice.
I think it was like you had tournaments. First place would get the free flights again, and then second place got the invite, but not the flights.
Ah,
So it works
okay.
very similar to the Duel Masters ones.
Very similar. Okay.
So you saw I had like a lot of those top 8 pins, but you needed to get first or second to get the invite. So even though I had like 5 of the pins, I only actually qualified for the championships twice.
That's still good. Good effort.
I think, yeah, that's the last picture I have in the slideshow, actually. So
Yeah, cool, man. All right. Well, you can end the share screen then, I guess.
all right. Bam.
Perfect, man. So, just got a couple more questions. What would you
Yeah, for sure.
say your most treasured possession is, man? Like out of everything that you've accumulated over the years, what means the most to you?
For me, I would probably say my deck that I placed top 8 at the first Continentals. I actually realized I thought I had another picture of it in the slideshow, but I didn't. So I'm actually going to really quick.
Yeah,
We can
yeah.
talk about this really quick.
Feel
I'm just
free,
going to go
man.
back to the beginning. I
Yeah,
thought I put a
perfect.
picture in, but you can kind of see it in the background.
Yep.
My Dark Water Fire control deck.
Yeah.
And it just means the most to me because like I said, I end up playing control decks pretty much the entire lifespan of the game from the point that I started playing that deck. And just like I associate so many good memories with that deck. And so when I was older, I wanted to put it on display. And so I have like those cards. It's like, it's the same emeralds that I always use. It's the same Aqua Hocuses that I used. It's all like the physical same cards that I brought with me to Los Angeles.
Nice. Yeah, that is cool, man. So, with Locomotiva and Ghost Touch, there was an element of discard.
Yep.
Playset of Terra Pit. Nice.
Yep. And Hopeless Vortex just to kill more things.
Yeah. Nice. The 2 twin cannons, Bazagazil. Looks like quite a solid build, man, for the time.
Yeah. My favorite part of that deck actually is the 2 copies of King Riptide.
Yeah.
Because at the time that I played this, all of the control decks were just focusing on illusionary merfolk. And before the tournament, I was like looking for something like I wanted my deck to stand out from the other ones. I needed like some kind of edge over everyone else. So I was kind of looking for like an obscure card that was good that not many people were playing. And I found King Riptide and it ended up being so good and nobody else played it but me. And then after that tournament, people started catching on to how good it was. And then it became like meta afterwards. So I was like super proud of myself being like this little kid that started playing a card that nobody else was using. And then after that, it just like really caught on. And
yeah, dude, kudos to you, man. Especially, being so young, constructing such a powerful deck. I mean, yeah, it's incredible, man.
did I mention how I used to practice this game?
No.
So a lot, like for so many hours, I would just sit in my room alone. I would build 2 decks and I would just play against myself for hours and just like test out different cards, see what was consistent. And then by like playing both sides of the duel at the same time, it really gave me like an insight into what plays were working and why they were working. And I feel like that helped me so much.
Yeah, nice, man. That would do it. Yeah, it's amazing. What it actually prompts me to ask you, what was the Pojo scene like back in the day? Did you have friends locally that you met through there, or and that you could play against regularly, or?
So I kind of mentioned earlier how the Chicago scene, like it wasn't that big. So the
Yep.
people that I met in the Chicago scene, I actually don't think I met any of them online before meeting them in person.
Okay.
So I didn't really meet people from online until the Continental Championships themselves. But
Okay.
there I definitely like there was a lot of people that I had talked to online and like played a lot of matches with online and then met them in person, and some of which are still my friends to this day, which is pretty awesome. And then even some of those same people, we played in Duel Masters, and then we met again in Kaijudo. And so it's pretty sweet that we kind of got to make another connection later on.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think a lot of the people who were active for Duel Masters jumped to Kai Judo when it came out, or was there a bit of a drop off?
So there was definitely like in Kaijudo, there was a lot of new people that hadn't played Duel Masters before. But I
Wow.
would say like
Okay.
a majority of the people that had attended both of the Continental Championships, like the super die-hard Duel Masters players, almost every single one of them was playing Kaijudo too.
Oh, nice.
I guess
That's
like
cool, man.
some people like they were older at the time of Kaijudo, so they were like working and had less time to go to tournaments and stuff, but they were still like involved in just like playing online and keeping up with the scene and stuff.
Yeah, cool, man. That's pretty much all the questions I had, man. I mean, thank you so much for putting the slideshow together, man, and the amount of background information you've been able to provide has been really, really incredible, man. I honestly don't think that we would have, been able to figure out how it all worked without you, man. So yeah,
Yeah, I'm glad
thanks
I
for
could. I'm glad I could share everything too, and I have a that you're giving me this platform to share it because my channel is still pretty small right now.
yeah. And we're going to be giving you a shout out, man, and including your YouTube channel in our link to this video. So that leads me to the next point, guys. If you're watching, please give Garabon a subscription. I know that, he's got a lot of really cool stuff coming out and planned for the channel as well. So you don't want to miss out on that. And we do appreciate you, man, being so generous with your time and contributing to our channel and content as well. And we look forward to keeping in touch with you and seeing what you do with your channel, man.
Yeah, thank you so much again for having me on. It was like I had a lot of fun.
No worries, man. Take care.
All right,
See ya.
peace.